60 Minutes, Rewind.
Comparing the Tesla Model S to other cars is like comparing an iPhone to a desk phone. It is a technological marvel that scorches the pavement, 0 to 60 in 4 seconds. Tesla is another revolutionary idea from the mind of Elon Musk, a 42-year-old Silicon Valley entrepreneur who built an industrial empire from the stuff of little boy dreams, fast cars, and rocket ships. Musk is an idealist who told us he had to start his companies so that man could colonize Mars and save the Earth. His sister says it's like her brother traveled into the future and came back to tell us all about it. So, what is the future like?
Apparently, it's fast and smoke-free. The Tesla Model S is powered by 7,000 battery cells linked to an electric motor. No engine, no transmission, no tailpipe. As this company video shows, the dash is dominated by a computer that's constantly connected to the internet. It has a fanatical following. There's a waiting list that Elon Musk is trying to shorten, building 600 Model S's a week in this high-tech plant in Northern California.
I have heard a lot of people describe you.
Okay, good. I mean, hopefully, on balance, hopefully mostly good.
How do you describe yourself?
I usually describe myself as an engineer. That's basically what I've been doing since I was a kid. I'm interested in things that change the world or that affect the future in wondrous new technology, where you see it and you're like, wow, how did that even happen? How's that possible?
How is it possible that Elon Musk could launch 2 impossible businesses, SpaceX, a builder of rocket ships, and Tesla, which could be the first successful car company startup in America in 90 years?
How did you figure you were going to start a car company and be successful at it?
Well, I didn't really think Tesla would be successful. I thought we would most likely fail. But I thought that we at least could address the false perception that people had that an electric car had to be ugly and slow and boring like a golf cart.
But you say you didn't expect the company to be successful, then why try?
If something's important enough, you should try, even if the probable outcome is failure.
What's important to Musk is reducing greenhouse gases, which he believes threaten the world. The Tesla will go about 250 miles on a charge, and Musk is building a network of charging stations where the driver pays nothing for a fill-up. He hopes to make the stations largely solar-powered one day.
You can drive for free forever on pure sunlight. That's the message we're trying to convey. So even if there's a zombie apocalypse and the grid breaks down, you'll still be able to charge your car.
So there's a zombie apocalypse warranty.
Yes, exactly.
And if you're running from zombies, it's good to know the Model S won the highest quality rating in the history of Consumer Reports and has the government's highest safety rating. Musk may be changing the car the way Steve Jobs changed the phone. Like Jobs, he's a perfectionist in the art of engineering. His goal wasn't to show a profit, but to reveal the possibilities. It is a desire to discover that's also behind Musk's other line of vehicles. Only 4 entities have launched a space capsule into orbit and successfully brought it back: the United States, Russia, China, and Elon Musk. This Buck Rogers dream started years ago when he had a nutty idea to fly an experimental greenhouse to Mars. But he couldn't. He discovered that the price of rockets was astronomical. So now he builds his own.
I had so many people try to talk me out of starting a rocket company. It was crazy.
What did they tell you?
One good friend of mine collected a whole series of videos of rockets blowing up and made me watch those. He just didn't want me to lose all my money.
He never did launch that greenhouse, but now Musk is lofting commercial satellites and flying cargo to the space station for NASA at a fraction of the former cost. Musk's fascination with technology dates to his childhood in South Africa.
He just found everything interesting. He wanted to explore everything, knocked his teeth out because he was just falling off stuff. Kimball too, actually.
We spoke with his mother, May, sister Tosca, and brother, Kimball.
He's a guy with unlimited ambition.
Ambition to do what?
not a typical type of ambition. It's more like he just needs to be constantly, his mind just needs to be constantly fulfilled. And the problems that he takes on, therefore, need to become more and more complex over time in order to keep him interested.
He was interested in computers early. At the age of 12, he wrote the software for a video game and sold it. Against his parents' wishes, he set his sights on the software capital of the world.
It seemed like the vast majority of such things came from the United States. I also read a lot of comic books, and they all seem to be set in the United States. So it's like, well, this is a good place. This is where I got to go to this place.
He earned degrees in business and physics at the University of Pennsylvania and asked his brother to join him in California.
When we moved to Silicon Valley, we had nothing. So we actually lived in the office. And we would sleep on the floor in the evening and go shower at the YMCA the next morning. And then we would be ready to go before some of our employees would arrive, so they wouldn't think we were actually sleeping in the office.
In that office, Musk invented a program that gave step-by-step directions between addresses. That's common today in cars and phones, but in 1995, it was magic. In 4 years, he made $22 million.
Only in America.
Right, only in America, I agree, absolutely.
Next, he started an online banking firm that he grew into PayPal, a system for making purchases on the internet.
And you sold PayPal to eBay for what?
It was about $1.5 billion. So that was it was a good outcome.
A good outcome?
Yes.
His share was $180 million, and he bet it all on Tesla and SpaceX. But at the age of 37, he hit rock bottom. His first rockets failed to reach orbit, and an early model Tesla Roadster had quality problems.
In 2008, the rocket company is not going well. You've had 3 failures.
Great.
The car company is hemorrhaging money.
Yeah.
And the American economy has tanked in the worst recession since the Great Depression.
Right.
What was that year like for you?
And I'm getting divorced, by the way, to add to that. That was definitely the worst year of my life.
That terrible year was captured in a documentary called Revenge of the Electric Car. His plant was filled with flawed cars that couldn't be delivered.
Cars we rejected for.
Holy mackerel. Jesus. We have like an army of cars here. Like, Jesus.
I'm looking like we're going to be able to deliver 4 cars to the sales team.
This is frightening. It's really pedal to the metal here. Like, I mean, each month that passes is literally costs us tens of millions of dollars. I mean, we need to appreciate that.
To save Tesla, Musk needed millions more from investors. His fortune was gone.
When we'd call people and say, hey, would you like to invest? They'd be angry that we just called. It's like, no, it's not only no, and various expletives.
He was essentially broke.
Oh yeah, in debt, more than broke.
More than broke.
Yeah.
I remember waking up the Sunday before Christmas in 2008 and thinking to myself, man, I never thought I was someone who could ever be capable of a nervous breakdown. But I felt this was the closest I've ever come, because it seemed pretty dark.
The story will continue after this.
T-minus 30 seconds, mark.
Toward the end of 2008, SpaceX prepared its 4th attempt.
We were running on fumes at that point. We had virtually no money.
So a 4th failure.
A 4th failure would have been absolutely game over.
Done. SpaceX bankrupt.
Yeah, it's bad enough to have 3 strikes. Having 4 strikes, it's really kaput.
But Flight 4 was flawless. In Musk's world, it lit the darkness. Then, as often, the week of Christmas became a time when little boy dreams are answered.
NASA called and told us that we'd won a $1.5 billion contract. And I couldn't even hold the phone. It's like, I just blurted out, I love you guys.
They saved you.
Yeah, they did.
Financially and maybe even emotionally.
I'll tell you what, that was definitely helpful. Yeah.
2 days later, on Christmas Eve, Tesla's investors decided to pour in more money.
So you were saved in the period of 3 days by two completely unexpected events.
Yeah.
Merry Christmas.
Yeah, absolutely. That's for sure.
Liftoff of the Falcon 9.
The rockets haven't failed since. His cargo capsule has docked 3 times with the space station.
Capture is confirmed.
And in the California plant, they're fitting seats for what they hope will be eventual manned missions. SpaceX is also testing a rocket that can be reused, softly landing on a column of flame. Another step on a longer journey.
I'd love to have SpaceX be the company that brings humanity to Mars, and I hope I see it while I'm still alive.
He's at SpaceX 3 days a week, 2 days at Tesla, and weekends are at home with his 5 sons from his first marriage and his second wife, Tallulah, whom he met in London.
It all happened very fast. We were engaged after, I think, sort of two weeks of knowing each other, and I was 22, and there were all these boys, and it was, which was the best part. And it was fast, and then we were in it.
You knew each other 2 weeks?
Something like that.
Before you got engaged?
Something like that.
What was so attractive?
Oh, he was very charming and definitely the most interesting and eccentric person I have ever met.
Elon Musk!
Tesla's stock has rocketed up nearly 500%, but that's not based on the cars he's selling today. That price is counting on the hope that Tesla will create an electric car at 1/3 the cost of the Model S, which runs about $100,000. This is what stands in the way. This slab, covered in plastic, is the battery.
So this is essentially the bottom of the car. The front wheels would be there, the rear wheels would be right here. It fills up the entire bottom of the car.
That's right.
This is how it fits into the bottom of the chassis. Trouble is, the battery's so expensive, Musk can't build a $35,000 car with acceptable range. To make Tesla successful, he must reinvent battery manufacturing. Musk has just announced a $5 billion factory to be built in the U.S., which he says will make more lithium-ion batteries than all the other plants on Earth combined. Gambles like that have led a lot of people on Wall Street to bet against him, taking investment positions that count on Tesla stock to fail. But so far, those pessimistic investors have lost a lot of money.
What is it about you that seems to invite skepticism?
Well, I think it's because we're doing these things that seem unlikely to succeed. And we've been fortunate, and at least thus far they have succeeded.